Hi everyone, today I'm reporting live from Mexico. I've had a lot of time to relax, rethink and re-strategize, so I thought I'd just check in with you and share some of the thoughts I've had over the last couple of months. It's been a busy half of the year and lots has happened. In the last 6 months I've sold 2 properties, refinanced one and sold one. So as you can tell, a lot has changed and things are moving quickly as usual and how I'd like it to. But I thought I would share with you guys how things have changed, as the last time I sat with you, I talked about the 3 pillars of my business. So the 3 pillars, let me just reiterate them again. So that is my active income, my passive income, and the consultancy. Over the last 6 months have done really well, and we have been able to collectively hit our 10K target. However, my focus has now changed slightly, as moving forward, something I've always known, real wealth comes from retaining assets. Over the last couple of years, I've spoken about flips and building my cash pot, but when I did an overview of the assets that I do have now and what pays me well and how much time I'm putting into it, the ones that I've been able to keep and collect rental income are the ones that have never failed me, and I'm literally having to do no work at all. So I think now my strategy moving forward is to really build that wealth in terms of retaining assets as much as I possibly can. So when I first started out 2 years ago, and flipping was such a good strategy for me because it allowed me to build my cash pot, showcase my skills and proof of concept, and pull out all my equity, enabling me to go again and do more projects to be able to, attract more investors and build up my network and personal brand moving forward. So don't get me wrong, doing the flips over the last couple of years has definitely served well, but moving forward, I have now decided to put all my energy in towards executing the buy, refurbish, the refinance strategy, the BRRR. So in my block of flats, I've been able to refinance one of those flats in there, and I've had a tenant in there that constantly, I'm getting guaranteed rent on that property. One of the assets I probably value the most, based on the fact that I completely don't do anything and it doesn't require any of my time, and I know when it comes to the 14th of every month I'm getting paid on that day, and that feeling there, second to none. I think that is the best form of income out of all of it. As much as I like to be involved in my businesses and trying new ventures, you can just not beat passive income. And when I speak to other developers, big developers who have been in this game for a long time, a lot of them always do say to me their strategy is to never sell, is to keep on building up their portfolio and collecting that rental income so that their rent roll can be in the hundreds of thousands each month, whereby they can just collect income and do nothing. So what they can just spend their time doing is traveling the world and spending time with their family and living freely, essentially, because they can live their life on their own terms because they do have that wealth. And that's essentially where wealth comes from, is being able to have assets that free up your time to be able to do whatever you want. And that leads me on to my focus right now, is where I want to be, is I want to be able to travel as much as possible, literally travel the world and have that rental income coming in. And executing flips all the time doesn't allow me to do so, because essentially I am creating a job for me, because if I'm not out there constantly searching for deals, being on sites to make sure these refurbs are being executed, then I'm essentially not getting paid, and I'm essentially just working for my business instead of working on my business. However, creating a portfolio where I am executing the BRRR method and I am being able to refinance, pull some of my equity out and get rental income allows me to be able to do things like that, where I can just be traveling the world and I know regardless of what happens, I'm still getting rental income coming in. So now when I look at my 3 pillars that I was talking about before, we spoke about the passive income and active income and consultancy. And I was speaking about how I wanted to build on the active side of things. So that is taking project management clients on to be able to add to my income. However, that's still going to be the same, but how I'm going to be looping and reinvesting it into the company is going to be slightly shifting. So my main focus now would be using the active income and consultancy side of things to just pump into the passive income. So all the funds that I make from that, I'm just using that to invest back into the business to be able to execute the buy, refurbish, refinance projects. Because now if I look at my business as a whole, the project that I've got going on at the moment, so that is my HMO that you will see on my channel, that should net profit me around £1.5 to £2,000 per month. And that's minimum that I'll be receiving on that. So if I think to myself, I just need 5 of these to get to 10K a month, and that will be completely passive, then I'll be living the life that I definitely want to live, and I don't have to think about the active sides of the business and the consultancy sides of the business as heavy, because I know that regardless, I will be receiving this amount of money whatever I do. And I can use that as essentially my pension, and for years to come, that constantly these properties are going to be generating me income. So essentially I'm going to be using the active business side of the business and the consultancy side of the business to just fund the passive sides, because when I'm executing the BRRR model, and I'll be looking at high cash flowing projects, so the HMOs, you're essentially leaving in around circa around 40 to 50k per project, or even like 60k per project. So I want to be able to be building income outside of that to be able to leave my equity in those deals, because I want to be able to pull out money, pay back investors, and the equity left inside these deals is actually all my capital. So I'm not having to pay investors over the next 2 to 3 years, and all that rent is essentially mine. The funny thing is, all of this isn't like new knowledge to me, but it's just been really re-emphasized in like just everything that I've gone through over the past 6 months and how things have happened. So for example, with the flip that you would have seen on my page before, so that's the 1 to 2 bedroom, even thinking about like the conveyancing period. So we was able to complete that, fully complete it just end of July, right? And we sold that in June, or was it, I sold it in like April. So I sold it very quickly, but the conveyancing process took like 3 to 4 months. However, a refinance process literally only took like 6 weeks after everything was completed. So even with that being said, I was able to execute that a lot faster than executing a flip project where you have to wait for the conveyancing and there's so many variables that are completely out of your control. However, when you look at a refinance model, there's so much in your control, because as soon as you're 75%, 80% of doing the refurb, you can start essentially aligning up your expenses, aligning out your accounts and all your documents to be able to get that refinance to pull your money back out. So things happen a lot quicker so that you can go again. So just looking at everything and just experiencing those things and how difficult some sales get, and dealing with the buyer's solicitors, then you're dealing with the buyer's lenders. There's just so many other stakeholders involved in that transaction. It just makes it a lot more complicated and it takes a lot longer to do. However, in terms of a BRRR model, it's literally your solicitor and lender solicitor, and then you've got the lender. So there's less stakeholders involved, so it makes that transaction a lot more smoother. So I'm just putting it out there now just so that you guys can know, and I wanted to take you on my journey. Is we are now starting to scale my passive income as much as possible and as quick as possible. So all my energies will be looking for more towards higher cash flowing deals such as the HMOs, where I can execute the BRRR model. But don't get me wrong, flips is something I will not shy away from as long as the profit makes sense, and it's a thing where I'm making enough profit to use that money to put into another deal that will cash flow me an extra $2,000 a month. Because the aim isn't to get rich, it's to get wealth. Like, I rather have £5,000 coming into my account every month rather than just do one flip that will make me, I don't know, like 100 grand. I rather that constant £5,000 a month for the rest of my life, which is why my main focus is being able to build my portfolio, build the assets, get that passive income, and literally just travel the world. So that wraps up my quick checkpoint with you guys, and I'm just happy to be able to share this with you and take you guys on this journey to wealth, on this journey to building a completely passive portfolio that was going to be generating me an extra £10,000 a month. And I'm looking to do that within the next year. So executing this HMO, we're going to be at £2,000, and then essentially we just need to do 4 more of those in the next year. So watch this space, and I'm going to keep you updated. I'm going to keep you posted with how I'm being able to build all my other pillars of my business to reinvest back into the passive income pillar, because that's what is most important to me. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and if you want to get more involved in the things that I do and want to get more involved in my strategies and my network, just make sure you click the link in the comment section. So I'll be putting a link to my mastermind group, which is the Mastermind Advantage, and essentially we have a Zoom call a week and we have special guest speakers a month. We have resources, we're all on a platform, and we have an in-house broker who's had over 10 years of experience in the game, and that can help you creatively structure your deals to be able to maximize your profits as much as possible and just being able to get things moving. But my only disclaimer is anyone that is interested in, we only like doers. And what I mean by that is people that will go out and take the information and execute and not just stay in the analysis paralysis stage. We are complete doers. So if you want to get involved in that, hit the link below and we'll see if there's a space for you.